Hello everyone, welcome to Funch. In today's tutorial, we will be designing an online marketplace e-commerce store in Figma. In this particular tutorial, we'll be using auto layout, vibrant colors, and we will incorporate a lot of images to bring design to life. So without further ado, let's start designing this amazing website. Okay guys, let's get started with this project. First, what you want to do is you want to import the starter pack files we have provided in the description. So make sure to copy them and to paste them into your frame. I'm just going to add them here. And now we can start designing. So let's grab a frame, desktop frame here. I'm just going to expand it a little bit more here since we're going to be designing more sections. I'm just going to name this website design. And we can start designing now. So let's start with the navigation as usual. Let's create a frame of 80 pixels here. So let's add 80 here. There we go. Now let's expand this all the way. Now let's name this navigation here. Okay, that's great. Now we can add a layout grid here so we can position our elements correctly. We want 12 columns. We want margin of 96 and a gather of 24. There we go. Okay, we can grab the logo now. Just copy it and select your navigation and paste it. Make sure to position it on the grid. There we go. Looking good. Okay, so the next thing we need to design is the search bar here. So we're going to have a search input. And for that purpose, we're going to be needing this icon, the search icon, and just paste it into your navigation. Now let's write up the text here. So let's just write here, search products. Make sure it's set at 16 pixels. And let's add auto layout to this text. Hold Shift A, add 12 to the top, and position it in the middle here. And we can actually position this here, and we can expand it like this. And you can align it to the left by clicking here on this rectangle, where you can align your elements by your liking. But in this situation, we want it aligned to the left, and we want to add a spacing of 12 to the left and right. So there we go. Okay, let's add a fill to this. So let's select this green color here. And what we want to do now is we want to decrease the opacity to 10%. There we go. Let's deactivate the grid for a second so you can see what's happening. And you can see we have a light input color here. Let's edit the text as well. So let's add a very light text here. So something like this. There we go. Okay. So let's see the height of this. It's 43 pixels. So we want the same for this search button. And let's just design a frame around it, 43 pixels. And let's add auto layout, Shift A. And you can see it evens up at 42, but that's okay. We can just add one more here. Let's position it in the middle. And let's add 12 pixels left and right. And there we go. Let's give this fill. We want to add the green color here. I want to select this black color. So this black color is the actual icon, and let's just give it a white color. There we go. Let's add so you can select both of these items and just add 0 here for the space between them, and there we go. You can group them, Control G, and align them to the middle. There we go. Okay, that's looking good. So next thing we want to design, we have we're going to have 4 more options here. Nav links. So we're going to be having saved, cart, register, and login. So let's grab 2 icons for this purpose that we're going to be needing. So we're going to be needing this and this. So the cart and the heart icon. Let's just add them here. There we go. Now let's actually write up the text here. So we're gonna write saved. And let's position them evenly. And let's add a layout, holding Shift A, align to the middle, and space between should be 6. Let's go with 6. Duplicate this, holding Alt Shift, and copy the card and paste to replace at the heart. There we go. Let's right here, card. Now select both and hold Shift A to add another auto layout between two of them and add 40 pixels. There we go. Now I want to add another color here, so let's find something bluish here. Need something more vibrant, you know, not just be black. With this variation, that looks good. Let's align in the middle here. There we go. Okay, let's design the buttons now. So let's write up the button text. So login. We're gonna add auto layout, Shift A, add 12 top and bottom, and 32 left and right. Let's add green color. So when you select the color, you can see the green here, but this will apply to the text. We actually need to add it to the actual fill. So let's go with fill. Let's use this color. We can add white here. Now we can activate the grid so we can position this properly, align it to the middle, and add it here. Copy it, holding Alt Shift, and right here register. And we can add the same color to this register. The only thing we want to do is we want to hide the green color. And now you can hold Shift to select two of them and add another auto layout holding Shift A. Want to position them 16 pixels away. There we go. Now we can select all of these elements here. Hold Shift A again to add auto layout, align them to the middle, and let's add the spacing of 64 between them. There we go. That's looking good. So you can see how auto layout really helps you to design these components. Okay, now let's grab this image here. This will be for the hero section. Just apply it to your design. And just let's position it right below the navigation. There we go. Okay, let's write up the content here for a start. So we can write here, start shopping at our local shops. Let's increase the size to 64 maybe. And let's add greenish color to this. Let's disable the grid so we can properly see what's happening. Want something more darker, so yeah, this should work fine. There we go. And let's write up the description below this. So start shopping and save on your first order. And let's try 18 pixels here, auto. Let's position this to the left, and we can actually select the heading and the description and hold Shift A to add auto layout, and let's add 20 pixel spacing between them. I want to change this color here, so let's go with something lighter, not completely black. There we go. Let's also add a button here, and a button where users can enter their email address and subscribe to this e-commerce store. Let's just write up the text here for the button. So enter your email address. This should be in 16 pixels. And oops, 16, not 20. And let's add all layout, Shift A, add 16 top and bottom, and let's try 12. Let's expand this. And for this purpose, we're going to be needing a button. Well, we're going to be needing this send icon, and just paste it into your frame, and just drag it into your component. There we go. Select your input here, and want to add the space between these two items, 6. There we go. Now we can actually add a fill, and let's select both of these, and let's give them a lighter color as well. Actually, you know what? We can increase the spacing by 8 between them. That looks better, in my opinion. And we can actually decrease the size a little bit here. What we want to do now is we want to copy this. We can delete the icon. Let's disable all layout and enable it again. And there we go. It will decrease the spacing on the sides by itself. So let's write here, subscribe. You can learn these tricks by watching me how I do it. So it will be very useful for you in the future. There are some tricks you can maneuver in Figma to speed up your workflow. There we go. We can add medium font weight, and let's just position this and group these two. Now select your heading and your description, which is already in a frame by the auto layout, and select your button here and add auto layout again. Let's add a spacing of 24. Let's go 32 maybe. Yeah, 32 should work fine. Let's position this a little bit better. So let's add 64 from the top and 96 from the left. So that's okay. The only thing we're missing here is the image. So let's grab the image here, copy it, select your frame and paste it. Let's position it here. Yeah, that should work. There we go. Okay, perfect. Okay, we're finished with the hero section, so let's design the other sections here. So let's enable the grid, and let's write here, explore products. So we're going to be having some product cards here that we're going to design, and let's add this color here. Let's copy this color and add it to this heading. Let's add 96 spacing. There we go. Okay, let's design some product cards. Let's design them. Let's create one around this grid. And let's write up here each, align it to the middle. Let's make this 20 pixels. Copy this color, apply it here as well. And align the text to the middle. Copy it down and write 20 items and add 14. I'll select this heading and this text and add auto layout and add the spacing of 6 between them. That should be fine. Let's position this maybe 24 pixels here. Let's add the image and we'll see how it looks. So let's copy this. This is not actually peach, but for this design, we can actually say it's peach, you know. That's fine. So let's position this approximately 32 pixels below this, and let's align this as well. We can add auto layout, align them to the middle, and add 32 spacing. And what we can do now is we can add auto layout to this, and we can add top and bottom. We can add maybe 32. There we go. So we have our component card designed. We can disable the grid for the moment. Let's add a fill here. Select this color from this image and add an opacity of 10. That easy. There you go. Maybe we can decrease the spacing between these two items by 24. Let's go with 24. Yeah, much better. Okay, let's design the rest. So we're going to have 6 of these cards. So 1, 2, let's go one more. Hopefully we're going to have space for all of them. If not, we can decrease the size. That's fine as well. 96, 96. Let's distribute horizontal spacing. And actually that's a little bit too bumped, so let's actually delete these. And we can actually decrease the size by just adding the auto layout. So let's go with 32 here. Let's try 40 maybe. Oops. 38. Okay, let's go with 38. Let's copy it 5 more times. 4, 5, 6. Let's enable the grid. Let's position this on the edge of the last column, select all of them, and distribute horizontal spacing. There we go, that's looking good. Let's disable the grid. And we can add the rest of the images here. Let's copy the strawberry icon image, sorry. But here, let's see, it's not actually, yeah, it's actually disturbing the sizing because it's auto layout. So if you add a bigger image, it's going to actually increase the size of these cards. So let's just disable the auto layout of these 5 cards just for this design purpose. But if you want to actually not do this, you need to have all your images at the same size. Well, but in this tutorial, that will not be the case, but you will still learn how to use auto layout, so that's okay too. Oops. What I'm doing, I'm just copying them and pasting to replace here. And now I'm gonna actually do the same with the background color. I'm just gonna select the color of this fruit, and I'm just gonna decrease the opacity to 10. It's that easy actually. So let's see what we missed here. We have apples here. Okay, let's select the apple color here. 10. This orange here. 10 as well. We have some potatoes here. 10. And we have some carrots here. It's strawberries. Oops. Let's actually write up this correctly. And this should be apples, oranges, potatoes, and carrots. Okay, the only thing we're missing for this section right now is the switchable tabs. So we can have some tabs here where people can just switch the products by their liking. So we're going to be having 4 categories in this section. So this is going to be all fruits, fruits and vegetables. Let's copy this right here, diary and meat. Let's select all of them, distribute horizontal spacing, and add auto layout holding Shift A. Let's add a spacing of 32 between them and position them 6 pixels away from the grid. Let's also distribute the horizontal spacing here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we want to select this text color here we're using, and the active tab that is here is fruits and vegetables, so that's the only thing we're having that's displayed here. So let's actually copy this up. What we're gonna do is click L and create a line below this text. There we go. And let's actually put this line a little bit below, and want to actually this to be the green color, the main green color, so it symbolizes that this tab is active. So you can group this, copy it, and paste replace here. There we go. Perfect. Let's position this 32 pixels. Let's align these. You can add auto layout, Shift A, align them to the middle, and there we go. I can actually position them correctly, 32 pixels. There we go. Let's group this and position this 120 pixels away. Perfect. Okay, let's copy this title down here. And let's design the next section. So this is most popular. And here we're going to be having also product images. So let's copy the images that we need. copy this. And for this purpose, we're going to be using auto layout. I mean a layout grid, sorry. Let's add 5 columns, margin of 96, and a gutter of, let's go with 48. Okay, that should be working fine. Okay, now let's design a frame here. We want to actually write the content here. Let's write here description of this product. So vegetables. This is 14 pixels. Let's add a grayish color here. Let's disable the grid so we can see the actual color better. Okay, let's copy this down. So reddish, 500 grams. This should be 16 pixels. This should be blackish. Let's choose some nice color here. Let's position this 12 pixels, add auto layout. There we go. And we want some stars here for some rating. So let's copy, the star, not the heart. And let's add that below the titles. And let's copy this 4 more times. Select 4 of these. And let's add a gold color here. Also hold Control Shift and select the strokes and add a fill. Add the same color. Hold Control, select the stroke and add a color here, and this should be grayish. There we go. Select all of them. Add auto layout, Shift A, and add a spacing of 2 between them. Now select all of the content and add auto layout one more time, and add a spacing of 16 here. And let's actually add the price at the bottom. So let's write $2. Copy this. And we want to add a strike through price. And this should be a little bit smaller, so 14. And this should be grayish. We can actually decrease the size to 12. And let's go to the type settings. And let's decoration strike through. And let's position this 8 pixels away. We don't have to add auto layout for this, it's okay. And let's select the price and add auto layout to this actually, and add 32 spacing. There we go. Let's position this 16 pixels away from the left and from the bottom. And the only thing we're missing here is the add to cart button. So let's grab a cart and actually copy this here. That should work just fine. And add it here to this frame that we're working on. I want to decrease the size of this cart to 14 pixels. What you want to do now is you want to select the strokes and decrease them. So hold Control Shift and decrease the stroke to 1.3 maybe. There we go. And let's right here add. This should be 14. Add auto layout between 2 of them. Let's go with 4 here. Design, create another frame. Design another frame around them. Add auto layout, Shift A, and add 4 top and 12 left and right. You can actually add the main green color to this. So get the color picker, kind of undo it, an accent. So the green color, copy it and paste it to the text as well. And let's add a fill, add it to the fill as well, but decrease the opacity to 10%. There we go. Okay, let's position this to the bottom and position it 16 pixels here. Now you can group this, and there we go. and we still have some space for the image. So let's add the image here. So let's add some radish here. Radish. Align it to the middle. And there we go. One thing we're missing here is a stroke. So let's add a stroke here. A grayish one. Decrease the opacity to 20. And there we go. We have our product image ready. Let's activate the grid. I meant the product card, sorry. And let's duplicate this 4 times. There we go. Let's add the contents of potatoes, 1 kilogram. And we can add tomatoes here, tomatoes 100 grams. Broccoli, write it right, broccoli 1 kilogram. And this should be green beans. I can actually just decrease the images here. Apply it here, align it to the middle. And okay, actually these are potatoes here. Okay, and there we go. Copy the tomatoes here. Make sure to align them correctly. Resize them by your liking. Experiment on your own so you can learn how to do this even better. There we go. Okay, so the spacing between the heading and the cards is 32, so it should be 32 here to keep it consistent. I can group this and position 120 pixels below this. The way I'm moving this is by holding Alt Shift and my arrow keys on my keyboard. So that's called a nudge. You can learn more if you Google Figma nudge space on Google. You'll actually find out how to edit it. I think it should be either 8 or 10 pixels, the nudge amount. So yeah, but I'm sure you can edit it custom by your own liking. Okay, so let's disable this grid, 5-column grid, and enable this 12-column grid. And we're going to be designing a frame for our new section. So this should encapsulate 6 columns. And we're going to be having an image here. So let's actually add a fill here. I'm going to be in a yellow color. And we want it to be 10%. Let's disable this. Let's try 15% here. Yeah, this should work fine. And let's write the content here. So free delivery. Let's add auto layout to this. This should be 14 pixels. And let's select this yellow color here and add higher contrast here. And actually go with this. Let's change the color here as well. Right, 12%. There we go. Okay, now let's add the title here. So free delivery over 50 bucks. This should be our font size. Let's go 24. Let's grab this color here. Apply it. Copy this down. Shop $2 product and get free delivery anywhere. Let's decrease the size to 16 here. And now we can actually add all the layout to this. So add all the layout to these two. Add 12. Now add all the layout to 3 of these and add, let's go with 20. Let's design the other button here. So actually before that we need to decrease the opacity here a little bit. So let's go with 70 here. There we go. Actually, let's reduce the size a little bit as well. So let's go with 12. Size should be a little bit smaller. So 6 here, 4 here. Now let's add white here. Let's add a little bit of corner radius 4. Let's try 2. Yeah, let's go with 2. Increase this to 6, and yeah, looking good. Okay, let's grab arrow. We're going to be needing an arrow for the button that we're going to be designing. Apply it here. And let's just write up the button. So shop now. Should be, let's go with 16. Add auto layout here and add spacing of 12. Let's go with 8 actually. Okay, that's looking good. Let's design a frame around this. Add 8 to the top and bottom, and let's add 12 to left and right, and let's apply fill here. So let's select this green color here, so it will show you the document color, so you don't need to search it all the time. And let's apply a white color here. Okay, now you can select your component elements at the top and the button and add auto layout again. Let's add a spacing of let's say 40, maybe 48. Yeah, let's go with 48. Now select your frame and add auto layout to it. And let's actually decide how much we want at the top and bottom. Let's go with 48 maybe. Yeah, let's go with 48. Now you can enable your grid again. And let's size this correctly. Let's copy this. And let's just change the style here. So this should be greenish. Let's grab this green color, apply it to the fill. Apply it to this button as well. But we want this to be a little bit more discoverable. So let's save the grid, and yeah, it's looking good. Let's actually add 100% to this. Yeah, it's looking good. So let's just change the content here. So organic food, save up to 60% off on your first order. You can select the headings, Control Shift, and let's add bold here, semi-bold. Okay, the only thing we're missing here is the images. So let's copy these, add them here, copy this image, add it here, and let's see what's bugging this. So okay, since we have auto layout, we can't actually position this correctly. If we add it here, you can see that it will actually move it below or up, but you can use your arrow keys. You can actually position it on the right, but using auto layout, it's not very efficient in this situation. And we can actually just disable it for the moment, and we can position it manually. There we go. You can actually do this much more efficiently with auto layout, but that will require a lot of work for this video, so let's just add it manually for the moment. There we go. Looking good. Okay, let's actually group this and position it 120 pixels below this section. So we already have designed a lot of things. And let's continue now. So now we have the top selling rated products here. So we're going to be having cards. And let's actually add the heading here. So top sells. You can actually copy this most popular here. And group this again. Let's write here top sells. And let's add a line below this. This should be 2. And let's add a green here. Let's decrease a little bit and create another one. That should be 1. And this should be grayish. There we go. Let's group these lines and let's group this as well. Okay, now we can actually design the cards here. So let's design them. Let's create a card here. Let's add maybe 120 here. Let's add a fill for the moment and let's design the content, and according to the text size we can actually determine the size of this frame. So let's write the orange 1 kilogram here. This should be 16. Go 20 actually. Let's grab some stars. We're going to be needing some stars here. So position it here. Let's add a price here. You can actually copy the price as well. Very reusable. Let's copy the price. Paste it here. Actually, we forgot to add a price color, so select your prices here. I just noticed. Now let's add this green here. And let's add medium to these prices. There we go. Let's add a green here as well and add medium. And let's position these. So let's add auto layout to these two. Let's position this 8. Align to the left, add auto layout again, and let's add here maybe at 24. Okay, that should be working fine. So we can see that this is with a height of 91 and this is 120, so we can actually decrease this a little bit. Let's go with 106 here. There we go. And let's configure the spacing, so let's add 12 here. There we go. Let's add a stroke just so we can see this. And we can add some images now to this. We have some bunch of images here. Let's just copy it and paste it here. Let's add the oranges to this frame. And now you can actually disable the stroke. And we can add a fill. We just need something very, very light. Let's go with this blue and just find something very light. Yeah, that should work fine. Okay, so let's design some more. So let's group this. Add 3 below, and now you can add auto layout, Shift A, and position them 24, or let's go 32 pixels between each of them. Let's copy the strawberry, paste it here, decrease the size a little bit. Strawberries, some apples here. Apples. Gonna add some more here. Let's actually design the rest of these. And let's actually decrease this line a little bit, because we will be needing 4 of these. So let's copy this. 96 from the left, right, sorry. Select all of them. Actually, let's write top rated here. Trending items. And this should be recently added. I can select all of them, holding Shift. Align them to the bottom and distribute horizontal spacing. You can actually add auto layout now. And there we go. Okay. It's looking good, but you can see we have a problem here. So this doesn't give us the exact space that we need for the items. It's a little bit squished in my opinion. So what we can do now, we can actually decrease the size of this to 24, let's say. Let's disable the auto layout here. Let's ungroup them. We can actually configure the spacing of this to be, let's go with 16. Let's see how much space does it take. Let's decrease this a little bit. So this is 115. This is 115 too. Let's see. We get more space now. Top rated. It should be trending items. And this should be recently added. $96. There we go. And let's see. Okay, so this gives us a little bit more breathing space, so we can actually go with this. Yeah, this is fine. And let's delete these. Let's copy these. You can actually go and change the content on your own if you like. We have bunches of images here with some vegetables, but for this purpose, for this tutorial and the short time frame, we just copy them and add them like this. Spacing should be 32 between these. Group all of this and position 120. Okay, great. The only thing we're missing in this design is the footer, so let's design it. Let's click L and design a line. Let's activate the grid so you can see what we're doing. There we go. Let's actually design the navigation links in the footer here. So let's write here count. But before we do that, we need to actually do something. Let's disable the grid. Let's increase the font weight of these to semi-bold. There we go. That was annoying me. Okay. So let's write up the nav links from this footer. So this account should be in 16 pixels. Be medium. And let's apply the same color we have been using for the texts. There we go. And let's go with 20 actually. 20 is fine as well. And the navigation links can be 14. So this is wish list. Copy it down, cart, copy it down, track order, copy it down, shipping details. Shift A, add all out, and let's position them. Well, let's go with 16 pixels between each. Let's add regular here. Hold the grid for a moment. And we can actually decrease the opacity to 80 here. So 70. So the way I can select all of them while they are in all out is by holding control. This will actually select the elements that you actually go with your cursor. So holding control. Okay, that looks good to me. Let's add another layout here. So let's add spacing of 40. Let's add a frame around this. Add another auto layout. Make sure it's 0 on the sides, top and bottom, and now we can actually add a fixed width. So you can see that it also changes at the top, so it's a fixed width. If it's hug containers, it will hug the content. But we want a fixed width here, so we can actually have equal spacing between all of the navigation links. So let's copy this. This should be useful links. About us. Contact. Hot deals. Promotions. Let's add one more here. And this should be new products. So when you have auto layout, when you copy something, it will just position it below the element, and it will actually add the spacing equally as you set it in the auto layout. So that's very useful by using auto layout. So you can see the use cases. Let's position this at the edge of the grid. It's 96. So if you activate it, you can see. Disable it now for a moment. This is help center. Payments, refund. This checkout. I just noticed I have a double O here. And this shipping. And this is Q&A, questions and answers. And let's copy this one more time. We have another one. Privacy policy. There we go. Okay. So we have all the links designed. Let's actually add a nicer color to this line. So let's go with something grayish here and decrease the opacity to 60. Yeah, that's okay. Let's position this 120 pixels below this section. Let's grab our logo here. So this is a little bit bigger, but we might need to increase the size even more, but I don't think that should be the case. Yeah, it's big enough, I guess. Let's activate our grid. You can hold control and select your whole frame by holding control. Just select your frame and enable the grid. Position this correctly. And let's actually put these. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, we can actually add auto layout between these. And what we can do now, let's see how we can play this, because this needs to be in the middle. Okay, now we can ungroup this, add auto layout again, so it's on 150. Select the food logo, add auto layout again, and position it in the middle. There we go, tips and tricks in Figma. Let's position this 120 pixels. And there we go. Let's grab another line. So Alt Shift, 120 pixels again. Actually, we can put this a little bit closer, it's fine. Let's go with 80. Looks better. And let's add the copyright, the payment options, and some social links here we have provided. So let's copy these. So hold Shift and select these elements, copy. By holding Shift, you can actually select individual elements you like. Shift A on these. Let's add 20 here, maybe 20. These social links. Turn this to the left. These are already grouped and they're just an image. Let's select all of them. Shift A, line them to the middle. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's position this 80, maybe, oops. Let's go with 48 here. Okay, now you can select your frame and decrease the size here. And there we go. Let's save the grid. And there we go, guys. We have designed a full website design for this e-commerce marketplace page. Hopefully you liked this tutorial and you learned something new on the way. It was very fun designing this. I very much enjoyed it. Hopefully you did as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this tutorial. Hopefully you got out something out of this, and we'll catch you in the next tutorial. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye bye.